May it please the court, counsel, members of the jury. Careless choices creates deadly consequences. It's 6:58 p.m., the sun is setting, headlights are turning on, and cars are racing down a 6-lane highway. A Ford truck pulling a trailer rattles and shakes as it makes its way around the curve at Bunker Hill. And just as it begins to take the curve, the overloaded trailer becomes unsteady, and an improperly secured backhoe lurches forward, causing dozens of 100-pound boulders to scatter across all lanes of the highway, creating a minefield for oncoming traffic. Just moments to fix the situation, and Jimmy Hutchum pulls off to the side of the road. The rest of his crew follows his example. Just moments later, an unexpected Cadillac driver, when she slams on her brakes, she swerves out of the way in an effort to avoid the boulders. But it's just too late. Jimmy Hutchum, a son, a brother, a college student, is now pinned between that vehicle and another. Jimmy Hutchum's parents, Gail and Percy Fitzwallace, they brought the suit on his behalf. You'll learn that aside from everything else, Jimmy Hutchum was a hard-working Paradise Valley landscaping employee. And the crux of today's case is whether those careless choices led to those deadly consequences. We're going to take you down the road to responsibility. And at the end, it'll be up to you to decide whose careless choices those were. Now, we have the burden today. The burden of proving to you by a preponderance of the evidence, meaning it's more likely than not that this defendant was the sole cause of Jimmy Hutchum being the deadly consequence. Now, to truly understand that, we must back up and start at August 3rd, 2021, our first stop, the road to responsibility, the careless loading of that trailer. The day started like any other. Jimmy Hutchum gets up, gets dressed for work, and heads out to Paradise Valley Landscaping headquarters. When he gets there, he's informed there's a job, a major addition that needs several 100-pound limestone boulders. They load up those boulders on 2 company trailers, take them over to the job site, while on that day, they were informed they didn't need them. You're gonna learn today that on August 3rd, 2021, this defendant instructed the team to load not 20, not 30, not even 40, but 60 100-pound limestone boulders onto a single company trailer. Aside from that, they also loaded a heavy piece of equipment, a backhoe, onto that single company trailer. You're going to learn today that they had safety equipment to strap the cargo down. They had heavy straps, and they chose not to use them. They had cargo nets, and they chose not to use them. That takes us to our second stop on the road to responsibility, the careless transportation of that trailer. You're going to hear today from an accident reconstructionist, a commander that will take the stand here today and tell you that that trailer had a maximum towing capacity of 12,000 pounds. But on August 3rd, 2021, it was significantly overloaded. In fact, so much so, it caused that trailer to spill the boulders on the side of the road. And when Teeter Lannon pulls off to the side of the road, you're going to hear that he didn't give his team safety vests, didn't put out cones behind the trailer, didn't do anything to warn of the danger ahead to the oncoming traffic. No. That brings us to our last stop on the road to responsibility, the careless oversight of Paradise Valley Landscape. Now, throughout today's proceedings, I want you to pay close attention, because you're going to learn that Paradise Valley Landscaping, they didn't have any protocols, any procedures, any safety precautions at all for loading heavy cargo, for securing heavy cargo. No. Instead, they deemed their safety officer, Teeter Landon, by an online safety course. That's it. Now, let's talk about what you're going to hear from the defense today. What are they going to tell you? Well, first, they're going to try and veer you off this road to responsibility. They're going to try and point the finger at everyone else. In fact, they're going to try and point the finger at the unexpected Cadillac driver. They're going to try and point the finger at an employee who pulled too close to the side of the highway. And members of the jury, they're going to try and blame the young man who lost his life for doing what the law required of him, for immediately removing the boulders, for clearing this defendant's mind. Now, members of the jury, what really this all boils down to is this defendant's careless choices that left Jimmy Hudstrom as the deadly consequence. And the only two people at the end of this road to responsibility is Paradise Valley Landscaping and Teeter Landon. And when my co-counsel comes before you and reviews all the evidence and asks you to render a verdict, you'll render the only verdict that's justified by the facts, the law, and your own common sense. A verdict finding Paradise Valley Landscaping and Teeter Landon wholly responsible.